We are not perfect people. We don't live in perfect situations. But that doesn't make us insignificant. Every single one of us has a purpose, and we've been blessed with one of the most powerful tools in the universe: emotions. Unlike the trees or the grass that only exist, we feel. We laugh, we cry, we hope, we hurt. And when those feelings are used the right way, they can become the fuel that drives us toward our destiny. Most people think their struggles disqualify them from greatness. They look at their failures, their heartbreaks, their scars, and see a resume of reasons why they can't succeed. But what if I told you, your pain is not a punishment, it's preparation? What if every setback was actually a setup for a comeback? Today, we'll uncover the truth about passion, purpose, and the immense power hidden in your struggles. We live in a fast, noisy world. A world that glorifies being busy. We're drowning in a sea of digital noise, endless notifications, and the relentless pressure to do more, be more, and post more. In this frantic race, we often lose touch with the one thing that truly matters: who we really are. We confuse activity with achievement. We fill our calendars but empty our souls. Everything is busy. Everything is rushed. But this busyness is a thief. It steals our clarity, it silences our intuition, and it kills our effectiveness, leaving us running on a treadmill that leads nowhere. The antidote to this chaos is found in two words: purpose and passion. And make no mistake, they are deeply, inextricably connected. Think of it this way: purpose is your why. It's the destination on your map, the North Star that gives you direction. But passion is your how. It's the fuel in the engine, the wind in your sails, the relentless energy that drives you forward on that journey. A purpose without passion is just a good idea that never gets off the ground. And passion without purpose is a wildfire that burns brightly but ultimately consumes itself, directionless. You need both. The map and the fuel, the direction and the drive. And where does this powerful combination often come from? It's forged in the very fires we thought would destroy us. Consider Nelson Mandela. He was confined to a tiny prison cell for 27 years. That pain, that isolation, could have consumed him with bitterness. Instead, it became his forge. In that crucible of suffering, he cultivated an unbreakable spirit and a vision not of revenge, but of reconciliation and forgiveness. His pain didn't break him, it built him. It prepared him to lead a nation. Think of Oprah Winfrey, whose childhood was marked by profound trauma and poverty. That pain could have silenced her forever. Instead, she transformed it into a radical form of empathy. Her struggles gave her a unique ability to connect with the suffering of others, turning her into one of the most trusted and influential voices in the world. Her pain didn't disqualify her, it qualified her. Or Steve Jobs, who was publicly fired from Apple, the company he poured his life into. The humiliation could have been the end. But he later called it the best thing that could have ever happened to him. Freed from the weight of success, he entered his most creative period, founding Next and Pixar. That painful rejection became a necessary redirection, leading to one of the greatest comeback stories in history. Their pain was not an obstacle to their purpose, it was the origin story. But passion is what wakes you up from the slumber of an ordinary life. It's the internal alarm clock that rings with excitement for the day ahead, not dread. Passion is what pushes you forward when everything else and everyone else says you can't. It's the voice that whispers, "Get up," one more time when the world is screaming at you to give up. It's what gives you the strength to endure the inevitable obstacles on your journey. Living with purpose doesn't mean you won't face problems. Oh, you will. The path to a meaningful life is always uphill. You will face storms. You will face resistance. You will face your own self-doubt. But passion is the thrust that gets you off the ground, the raw, explosive power that defies gravity. It is the fire that keeps you moving, the internal furnace that burns brighter even when the storm rages outside. Even if you don't know exactly where you'll land yet, passion is the force that will propel you out of your comfort zone and into the territory of your dreams. And yes, I know. I hear you. Sometimes you don't feel anything at all. There's no fire, no spark, just a hollow echo. We all go through that silence. We all find ourselves adrift in the passion desert, wondering if we'll ever feel that excitement again. The feeling of being numb is one of the most painful feelings of all. But to ignite passion again, you cannot wait for it to find you. You must go find it. You must expose yourself to something new. You have to be willing to step out of the boat of your routine, your comfort, your certainty. So how do you do it? How do you find this fire when all you feel is ash? Here are 4 practical suggestions you can start today. First, become an archaeologist of your own life. Grab a journal and ask yourself, what did I love to do as a child before the world told me what I do? When do I lose all track of time? If money were no object, what problem would I dedicate my life to solving? Don't judge the answers, just dig. Second, conduct a busyness audit. For 1 week, track where your time and attention really go. The endless scrolling, the meaningless meetings, the draining conversations. Be ruthless. Busyness is the enemy of purpose. You must cut what doesn't serve your mission to make room for what does. Third, protect your time for creativity. Schedule exploration time on your calendar and guard it fiercely. This is your time to try something you've never done before. Learn an instrument. Take a coding class. Write a poem. Build something with your hands. Creativity is the spark that ignites the kindling of passion. And finally, reframe your pain. Forgive your past to free your future. Write down your biggest struggles, and next to each one ask, what did this teach me? How did this make me stronger? How can I use this lesson to help someone else? This is how you turn your scars into your superpowers. And here's the truth. You don't need to be young, beautiful, rich, or perfect to rediscover your purpose. Passion has no age limit. Purpose has no prerequisites. The world tells you that you need to have it all figured out before you can start. The truth is, you just need to start. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to take the first step. At any age, at any stage, you can still ignite passion. You can still find your purpose. It all begins with a single choice. The choice to believe that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. Your purpose is bigger than your pain. Your passion is stronger than your past. And your time is the most precious gift you have. Here on Greatest Lane, we don't just talk about success. We build it, one lesson at a time. So if this spoke to you, subscribe now and join the journey. Because your greatest life is waiting, and this is the lane that leads you there. Most people think their struggles disqualify them from greatness. But what if I told you, your pain is not a punishment, it's preparation. Today, we'll uncover the truth about passion, purpose, and the power hidden in your struggles. We live in a world that tells us to run from discomfort, to numb our anxieties, to hide our scars. We're taught that a perfect life is a painless one. But what about the pain? What about the shadows we all carry? The moments of doubt, the seasons of loss, the failures that sting so deeply they leave a mark on our soul. Are they distractions from our path to success? Are they signs that we are broken, that we are not meant for more? No, absolutely not. In fact, they are the very foundation of our fire. Think of a master stonemason building a skyscraper. They don't use pebbles. They seek out the largest, heaviest, most formidable stones for the base. Why? Because only those stones can bear the weight of the magnificent structure that will rise above. Your pain, your struggles, these are your foundational stones. They are heavy. Yes, they are difficult to carry, but they are what give you the strength, the density, the unshakable core to build a life of meaning and impact. History proves this time and time again. Nobody who has ever achieved greatness did so without extraordinary struggles. Their stories are not tales of effortless victory, but of profound resilience. Look at Nelson Mandela. The world sees a Nobel laureate, a president, a symbol of peace. But Mandela needed those 27 years in prison to find his ultimate power. It was in the crushing isolation of Robben Island that he forged an unbreakable will, a radical capacity for forgiveness, and a vision that would liberate a nation. His prison wasn't the end of his story. It was the crucible that prepared him for it. Think of Oprah Winfrey. Before she became a global media icon, she endured a childhood of unimaginable trauma and poverty. But she didn't let her struggles define her. She let them refine her. Oprah needed her struggles to ignite her purpose. That pain gave her a profound empathy, an ability to connect with the suffering of others, and a relentless drive to create a platform for healing and empowerment. Her scars became her superpower. Or consider Steve Jobs, a visionary who was publicly fired from Apple, the very company he co-founded. The humiliation could have destroyed him. Instead, that period of exile became his most creative. It forced him to start over, leading to the creation of Next and the rise of Pixar. That failure was the pullback he needed to return to Apple and launch a revolution that changed the world. His greatest setback became the catalyst for his greatest comeback. Passion gives you power, but pain gives you conviction. It's the difference between a spark and an inferno. Without the weight of your past, you wouldn't have the burning reason to rise today. Think of your life like an arrow. You don't push an arrow forward to make it fly. That's impossible. You pull it back. The struggle, the setbacks, the tears, the loneliness, that's the pulling back. It feels like you're going in the wrong direction. It feels like you're losing ground. Every inch of tension on that bowstring is a moment of doubt, a whisper of, give up. But when you are released, you soar. And here is the crucial lesson. The greater the pullback, the greater the launch. The depth of your struggle determines the height of your flight. This is where passion finds its true partner. Purpose. Passion is the engine, the raw energy, the what that excites you. But purpose is the steering wheel, the why that guides you. And often it is pain that clarifies our purpose. When you've known darkness, you feel a deeper calling to create light. Your pain carves out a space within you, and your purpose is what you choose to fill it with. What's working against you is secretly working for you, forging a mission that only you can fulfill. But there's a trap many of us fall into. We try to outrun our pain with busyness. We fill every second of our calendar, believing that being busy is the same as being effective. It's not. Busyness is a tranquilizer for the soul. It kills your creativity and silences your intuition. True effectiveness comes from focus. It comes from having the courage to be still, to listen to the lessons your struggles are trying to teach you. Your time is your most valuable asset. Protect it. And one of the most powerful ways to reclaim that focus is through forgiveness. Holding on to anger or resentment is like trying to draw back that arrow while someone is holding on to the tip. You can't get the tension you need to fly. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened. It is the act of cutting the cord to the past so it no longer has power over your future. It is the ultimate declaration of freedom. So, how do you begin to turn your pain into your power? First, get a journal and write. Ask yourself, what have my struggles taught me? What fires me up? Second, conduct a distraction audit. Ruthlessly cut out what doesn't serve your purpose. Create space. Third, protect your time like a fortress. Schedule time for deep work, for creativity, for rest. Finally, reframe your story. Look at the person in the mirror not as broken, but as being built. Your purpose is bigger than your pain. Your passion is stronger than your past, and your time is the most precious gift you have. Here on Greatest Lane, we don't just talk about success, we build it one lesson at a time. So if this spoke to you, subscribe now and join the journey. Because your greatest life is waiting, and this is the lane that leads you there. Most people think their struggles disqualify them from greatness. They believe the scars from their past are marks of shame, that their pain is a period at the end of a sentence. But what if I told you, your pain is not a punishment, it's preparation? What if every setback, every heartbreak, every moment you felt lost was actually forging the tools you need for your true calling? Today, we'll uncover the truth about passion, purpose, and the incredible power hidden in your struggles. But here's the challenge of our time. We've traded effectiveness for busyness. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, believing that a full calendar means a full life. We run, we hustle, we fill every waking second, often as a way to outrun the silence where our deeper questions lie. We are the busiest generation in history, yet by almost every measure, not the most fulfilled. We have more connection, but feel more alone. We have more information, but less wisdom. The reason for this disconnect is a stark mathematical reality of the soul. It's the Pareto principle, but applied to our purpose. 80% of what we do is noise. It's the low-value tasks, the mindless distractions, the obligations we say yes to out of habit or fear of missing out. It's the energy we spend worrying about opinions that don't matter and outcomes we can't control. This 80% is the static that drowns out the music of our lives. Only 20% taps into our real gift. This is the work that makes us feel alive, the conversations that spark new ideas, the moments of deep focus where time seems to disappear. This is your unique genius, the contribution that only you can make to the world. Imagine if we flipped those numbers. Imagine if you consciously decided to spend 80% of your time, your focus, and your energy on what you were created to do. What would your life look like? What impact could you make? This isn't just a fantasy, it's a truth forged in the fires of adversity. Look at Nelson Mandela. 27 years in a prison cell could have been the end of his story. It was the ultimate pain, the ultimate isolation. But in that crucible, he didn't just endure, he prepared. He sharpened his mind, deepened his resolve, and transformed his personal pain into a universal vision for a united nation. His struggle wasn't a detour, it was the very path to his destiny. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, a survivor of profound trauma. The world saw a victim, but she refused to let her past define her future. She took the pain of not being seen, of not being heard, and dedicated her life to seeing and hearing others. She used her pain to build a bridge of empathy, to connect with millions, to create a global platform where stories of struggle and triumph could be shared. Her wounds became her wisdom, or Steve Jobs, fired from Apple, the very company he poured his soul into, a public humiliation that could have crushed him. Instead, he later called it the best thing that could have ever happened to him. That perceived failure freed him from the weight of success, allowing him to enter one of the most creative periods of his life. His rejection became his redirection, leading to the innovations that would once again change the world. What do all these stories have in common? They understood the non-negotiable value of time. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever possess. You can replace money, clothes, cars, even homes. But once time is gone, it never comes back. Every moment wasted on mindless busyness, on nursing old wounds without learning from them, is a piece of your destiny lost. Every second you spend scrolling away your anxieties is a second you can't invest in your purpose. That's why valuing your time is valuing your life. You were created in the image of a creator. This isn't just a spiritual platitude, it's a functional blueprint for your existence. That means you were designed to create, to take the raw materials of your life, the joy, the success, the pain, the failure, and build something new. You are here to create ideas, solutions, art, love, and meaningful change. But creation takes time, it takes focus. And if you let the noise, the distractions, and the busyness rob you of that sacred resource, you'll never step into your highest self. So how do we begin this journey? It starts with a conscious choice. Here are a few suggestions. First, become an archaeologist of your own soul. Take out a journal and ask yourself, what made me feel alive as a child, before the world told me who to be? What problems in the world break my heart and fire me up? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Your passion is hidden in the answers. Second, conduct an 80/20 audit of your life. For 1 week, track your time. Be brutally honest. How much is noise? How much is your gift? The results will shock you, but they will also empower you to start cutting the distractions. Learn the power of the word no. No to the meeting that could have been an email. No to the social gathering that drains you. Every no to a distraction is a yes to your destiny. Reserve your energy for your highest and best use. Stop pouring your life into things that anyone else could do. And finally, one of the most powerful acts of reclaiming your energy, forgiveness. Holding on to grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It chains you to the past. Forgiveness isn't about condoning what happened. It's about unchaining yourself. It frees up the immense emotional energy you've been spending on resentment and allows you to pour it into building your future. Forgive them, forgive yourself, and set your creative spirit free. Guard your time, guard your creativity, guard your destiny. Your purpose is bigger than your pain. Your passion is stronger than your past, and your time is the most precious gift you have. Here on Greatest Lane, we don't just talk about success, we build it, one lesson at a time. So if this spoke to you, subscribe now and join the journey, because your greatest life is waiting, and this is the lane that leads you there. Because every moment is a gift. Every breath is a chance. Every opportunity, every setback, every person you meet, all of it is shaping you into who you were meant to be. Don't let people define you with a period when life has written a comma. You are not done. You are still becoming. Forgive, let go, and move forward. Forgiveness isn't about excusing them. It's about freeing you. And if you remember one thing, remember this. You are not here by accident. You have a purpose. You have a passion. And you have the power to change your story. This is your life. This is your time. Don't waste it. Make it count. This is Greatest Lane, where stories like this are not just words, they are fuel for your journey. If you felt this message, hit that subscribe button, because your purpose deserves to be reminded every single day.